Hello guys, and welcome back to my YouTube channel, and welcome back to this sets of videos that I'm recording in this beautiful park right behind my house. As you can see, my home isn't that great, isn't that beautiful, and it's wonderful that I decide to record outdoors, although it's a little bit challenging, but I still hope that this is gonna come out as a beautiful idea, and I hope you enjoy it. And in this video of today, we are continuing to talk about ignore, and ignore as a form of abuse. And in this video of today, I'm gonna talk about what it is or what means when somebody is pushing you or in a way forcing you to ignore your health needs. How this exactly look like. Or how it is when somebody is trying to deny you the right to physical self-care, or in general some kind of a care related to your health. As example, need to rest, need to eat, need to take medicine, or any kind of a need of a self-care, and how this denial of care could affect you, or does affect, indeed will affect you in a long term, because ignoring certain type of needs is actually unhealthy, it's actually damaging, it's actually form of abuse. And in order to explain this type of ignore, I will call this a subtle passive abusive form of ignore, because often this type of attitudes are mixed with manipulation. Usually a person manipulates you to feel bad if you need self-care, to feel bad if you need rest, to feel bad in this way, that if you feel guilty or bad, you're gonna choose to self-ignore yourself with the aim to content this person. I'm gonna give you some stories as example of how this form of abuse function. The first story is, I have a friend of mine, and she was traveling to see her boyfriend, about 6-7 hours train, and for some reason there was a storm while she was changing train, like a hail and rain, and it happened that her shoes got wet, full with water. It was raining like cats and dogs, and there was nowhere to hide while waiting for this train. So she arrived in her boyfriend town with really wet shoes that she has been stayed in for about 8 hours, like the entire trip, entire day, and she was feeling quite unwell. In the home she warmed up. However, the shoes were so soaked with water that the next day they weren't like dry. They didn't have any, like they didn't have enough time to dry off. And her boyfriend wanted her to bring her to another town just for a coffee or for a small trip. And instead of just getting her some cheap shoes for the weekend, like 10 or 20 bucks, he decides to give her plastic bags that she would put on her socks in order to, there is a cat walking here, so she would put those with shoes but wearing a plastic, so she would wear a plastic bags on the top of her socks and wear these extremely wet shoes, which she didn't like. But the moment that they sit in the car, the boyfriend say, we're gonna go to the mall. And my friend, she was like, oh my goodness, I was thinking he's gonna buy me some shoes because those are wet, and obviously staying a second day in a wet shoes, I was starting to have a flu and I was coughing. So she was really hoping that the boyfriend would get her like just any pair of shoes, and also not very expensive, you know. And instead of that, they walk around in this mall, and he got himself some Levi's jeans, and then he ended up buying some kind of a video camera for 2,500 euro or something like that, just so he can take some pictures. And while they were driving to the town, to this town where they were supposed to do like a day trip or a ride trip, my friend started to get the flu and feel really unwell and really sick. And this is one example how somebody could be there and seemingly be interested in you. I will add in this story that they were in a committed relationship for quite some years, so it was not just a start story, you know. This is an example how a person can ignore your basic needs. For example, a need of a dry shoes. It's not, there is no explanation for this. This is a real story. Another real story I'm gonna give you, how another friend of mine shared that she has just recently moved in with her boyfriend, and she was very much into him, and he was supposed to move to travel to study or something. And basically that was their last night together. He decided instead to go out with some friends and have some fun, whatnot. And after some period of time that he was out, he come home real late, and my friend wanted to rest because she was supposed to drive him for quite some hours next day in the morning, so she wanted to sleep. But the boyfriend did not allow her to sleep. He made a lot of noise, he acted like he's cooking, he put some loud music, he did everything possible to make sure that she does not sleep, just to interrupt her sleep, because he wanted attention, or simply because he didn't care. It's not, there is no like a logical reason why somebody does that. Some people are just unaware. Maybe there is lack of care, maybe there is lack of consideration. There could be a lot of different reasons that we don't know why is that. But this is another story. Another story I have, a friend of mine was traveling, and she was away from her boyfriend for the summer, and she had a flight that was like 24 hours. She was super exhausted, and she arrived, the boyfriend picked her up from the airport, and he seemed so happy to see her and everything, and she was really exhausted. She needed to sleep, and the boyfriend did not allow her to sleep. He needed sex and he wanted it right now. He did not care that she'd been traveling for 24 hours to get to him. He just wanted the sex immediately. This is another example of lack of consideration, of your need of rest, or your need of health preservation, or your need of just taking care of your health first and then giving to someone. And there is one story I'm gonna share with someone that I met. This story happened in Verona last year. I met an individual who I was acting like he's interested into me, and very short after this person met me, we started, it was the same day actually. He's like, let's walk the city together, let's travel together. I was cool, why not? And very soon after we started to walk together, this person insinuated, I was starting to feel unwell. I had cramps, I was just not feeling well, I was feeling so bad, and I just really wanted to go back to the hotel and just sleep and take medicine and just rest. I was feeling to rest. And this person instead was insinuating and directly telling me that if I feel pain, this is a great thing, that I should feel more pain because pain makes you stronger. I should not do a self-care, instead I should stay in pain and suffer more because this is great. This person was talking like a very sadistical individual, kind of odd, to be honest with you, very strange. And then have in mind that I just met this guy. He was just a stranger to me, and he had these very strong manipulative tendencies to insinuate that self-harming and feeling pain is amazing, and that you should hurt yourself and harm yourself, and you should not listen to your body, and you should not take care of yourself because he says so, because he wants your attention, or because he wants your time, and because he wants you to travel with him, or give him some type of, if you want, entertainment, That's another story. And I'm just remembering another story with a friend of mine, that I know for about 25 years. And I haven't seen him for some time because I moved to live in USA, and now I come back to Europe, and I went to see him. He lives in Genoa, north of Italy. I traveled for about, I think it was 6-7 hours train to get to see him. And once again, I arrived to the house of this friend, and I was not feeling well. I was really not feeling well. I just wanted to go to bed. And this person insists that we go for a walk, and he wanted to go for a walk lungomare. Was like a nice path on the side of the sea, which is beautiful. It was a beautiful walk, but I was just not feeling well. And I keep saying that I just wanted to go to bed. I'm not well, and he insisted that I should try and I should do it because it should be a little bit more. We should walk to make X kilometers. As a matter of the fact, I noticed that this person was trying to show off with me, so everybody could see him, see that he's with a younger woman, and think God knows what. And these people will stop him, and they would be like, oh, if you're with this kind of woman, you must be great, you must be so happy, your life must be great, and whatnot. So this person didn't actually care about my health, or about how I feel, or about if I enjoy this trip or no. This person actually cared to show off. That's another example of insinuation or attempt to train you to neglect your health. And I just have another recent example of a story where a friend of mine was allergic to certain substance in certain type of condoms. And she was dating this guy not very long, and it was like the first time they were being sexual, and the guy didn't have the correct type of condom, and she told him that she's allergic. However, he insisted that they try and do it with this type of condom that would give her allergy. This is another form of ignoring your health need, or bringing you to these self-harming, self-damaging tendencies. Just insisting like there is something wrong to take care of yourself, to take care of your body, or to do well to you. And I'm not talking about this type of some capricious things, like you want to eat in a special pastry or trademark, or if you don't eat this kind of special pasta, the world is gonna end. No, I'm not talking about this type of a capricious situation. I'm talking about the basic physical care. When a male or a person is forcing you or telling you in some form and a shape that you should ignore yourself, this person is training you to abuse yourself, because if you don't care of your health, what are you gonna do in this life? This is form and very severe form of abuse. If somebody is trying to train you by mocking you about your self-care, or different type of situations like that, which I describe, where males basically induce their girlfriends to do things that are bringing them to self-harm, bringing them to get sick, to get unwell, to physically feel bad by ignoring their own health, this is form of abuse. And also it's a form of a self-betrayal. A lot of women, we are educated from our childhood, our parents, and the society, that we have to submit, we have to be feminine, we have to obey, we have to content the male. And it's in our feminine nature to be nurturing and willing to give to a man. However, there are indeed a lot of individuals who try to take advantage of your femininity and push you boundaries for self-care and push you to self-neglect. Usually this pushing you to self-harm or self-damage are centered to benefit the person in some form or a shape. Maybe give time, maybe give sexuality, maybe entertain them, maybe give company. Only real sadist will push you to self-harm without having any benefits from it. I think these tendencies are sadical indeed. They are sadistic or sadical. I'm not sure the word in English. However, not all of the people who push you to self-harm are aiming to damage you. Some of them are just aiming you to take advantage of you and to use you and to get their needs met, or to get attention, to get time, to get entertainment. Not all the people who push you to self-harm in like situations like that, they have intention to damage you. Some of them are just egocentrical individuals who push you to ignore yourself because they want something at this moment in time, to that point that they want you to ignore yourself and they want you to just fulfill their needs. And this is, guys, the video called why ignoring your health needs or training you to ignore yourself, it's a form of abuse. And in this video I give you several examples of how ignore its form of abuse. It's a self-betrayal as well, because you independently, if you want to content someone, you would feel bad, you will pay the price. So ignoring your health needs because somebody is pushing you to do so, it's always a bad choice, it's always a bad decision, independently if this person is doing it with malice or they're doing it with some kind of other type of intent for personal entertainment. If you guys had this situation, I would love to read your comments below and maybe create a videos commenting on your stories and your comments. I would love to do that. If you like this video and if you learn something new with me, if you discover this new form of abuse with me, I will be very grateful if you press like and share and subscribe. Thank you for being here. Bye bye.